I'm in the pigs enclosure now because yesterday my mother got a call from somebody if she had room for 3 more chickens. Those are very small, very cute little chickens, and I would love to put them with my chickens, but for you guys that don't know, chickens can be extremely mean to each other. They can really fight, and they're not as nice, and I would like to introduce them to each other, but my mother said, well, I would love to have some chickens around the pig coop, so all those pigs are used to chickens, so don't worry, they are not going to eat them. They grew up with chickens, so they don't do anything, and this house is perfect for the chickens to be inside, so I'm going to put this door in because we took it out for the pigs. I'm going to put some bars in them to sleep on, to sit on, and then hopefully the chickens will like it.
The brightest sky I have ever seen, the most colorful one I could dream. You wake me up with a new white smile, and I know I'm truly alive. I wanna save every moment now. Hold tight, my love, we got this one right. And if they ask us where we've been hiding, we'll just shake our heads. And when no one is listening, I confess, I'll let you in on everything, even the fact that I'm obsessed with you. I hope I don't scare you too much, babe. I wish to flatter, not alienate. Since I met you, my life's like a train, running smooth, I've been made for you. And when no one is listening, I confess, I'll let you in on everything, even the fact that I'm obsessed, the fact that I'm obsessed with you. No one is listening, I confess, I let you in on everything, even the fact that I'm obsessed with you. And when no one is listening, I confess, I'll let you in on everything, even the fact that I'm obsessed with
I am on my way to the extra field I have for the horses because with how wet it is, I'm a little bit done with it, so I'm going to see if I can give them an extra part of a field where it's a little bit drier so they can enjoy some grass. I don't have to worry about them being in the wetness, and yeah, we'll see if it works out, but I think it might, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just walking around for a little bit, and I noticed most of this field is actually pretty dry already. And I looked at the forecast, and the weather is supposed to be dry for, well, the next week. Can't really trust the weather forecast these days, but hey, hopefully it's right this time. But I think I might just let them walk here. There's a small part that is still wet, but most of the field is pretty dry, so even if they start running and playing, it should be fine. And yeah, I just don't want to wait any longer, so I'm going to put them here and then I'm going to work on the next field. But first let them out, because I think they are quite eager to go. Hello? You can see with the small ponies and also with Bounty a little bit that there is, that's Bounty doing crazy, that there is a lot of loose fur on their bodies, and that just has to do with the fact that they are shedding their coat basically. So yeah, they are quite happy to be outside, which I completely understand. But they are shedding their coat, so if you see loose bits of coat hanging on their bellies especially, it's just their winter coat they are letting go of, and it sometimes takes a couple weeks. It does right now because the weather is so crazy lately that it takes a bit longer, but that's just it. They love it here, so I will slowly introduce them to the grass again after a season of eating only hay, and then it will probably be fine. But I watch them very closely, and yeah, they're doing great. It's so nice to watch them here. Now most of the water is gone again, and we've had some dry days. The ground is pretty dry again, and they're able to walk here in between the trees. in just a very natural way, just enjoying their time outside, and that's what I love to see. So it's a treat to be able to watch them like this, and I could stand here for hours and hours, but I won't this time. I will leave them alone and let them enjoy their moment here, and then in an hour or so I will put them on the other field where the grass is a bit lower, so they don't eat too much of it, and then should be fine. If you do this every day, just keep them an hour longer on there every day, watch how their stomachs are doing, and then it's fine that way. I do it every year, and I know them very well, so I know what works for them, and this works. It makes them happy, it makes me happy, so that's great. In one of my previous videos, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I made this small greenhouse. I bought it because we wanted to try out how it works, and just to use a greenhouse for the first time, because I have no experience with them at all. And we put some plants in there, but now already it's been just a few weeks, but the plants are getting too big. You can see this tomato plant is reaching the top part here. And first there were shelves in there, and we already removed them, and all the plants are at the bottom. But it's too small. So I ordered also a pretty cheap greenhouse, the same idea as this one, but bigger. So the tomato plants will fit in there, hopefully for some time, because I don't plan on getting another greenhouse this year. But this one is a bit larger, so it should be fine for the rest of the season. And then maybe if we like it next year or the year after that, we will get a real greenhouse. This is just for trying out, see how we like it. I'm completely new to all things gardening and using a greenhouse anyway. Excuse you. But it's just to try out, but now we need a larger one already. And I'm going to put it together. Hopefully it will be a quick job, but with those things it can take some time, but with the power of editing I will not bore you too long. Hey Milky? And it will seem like it goes very quickly, even if I spend hours doing it. That shouldn't be the case. Yeah, we'll start. Really should have brought scissors, but I didn't. It says here you need 2 people. Of course I'm going to do it alone. How hard can it possibly be, you would think? this pole is a little bit damaged at the bottom. There's a crack in here and it's not in perfect shape anymore. A little bit damaged, but we're going to make it work. See, with a little bit of love, even damaged things still work. We're all damaged, aren't we? In some way. Just like this pole. Actually, most of them aren't perfect. Just like people. But we are perfect together. Like this structure. Isn't that nice? Sorry for the background noise. I'm probably going to put some music over this anyway, but when I'm talking, I'm sure you hear the tractor of the farmer behind me. That's the neighbor's field, and I'm very happy to say that it's finally dry enough so the farmers can get on their fields and start working. So although it is a bit noisy, it's actually great news, so I'm very happy to hear those sounds. It means it's finally dry. I think I did everything right. It looks fine. The plastic still needs to go on top of here. But I will first move it to the spot where I want it to be, and then I'll try to put it on. And yeah, I don't know. Looks fine to me. But I have these two left over, so I don't really know what that's about. I don't see anywhere they should go. It seems fine to me, so maybe they are just extra. It's a bit weird though, but for now we're just going to go with it, and if I really need them I think we'll see anyways, but it looks fine to me. It would definitely be more quick and also a bit easier when you have two people doing it, but I'm just alone and I did it, so definitely not impossible. But we'll see if I think the same about it when I need to put the plastic on top, but yeah. That's next. So the whole garden area is under the trees, but this is an area that is actually the most exposed to the sun. I think from, well, late in the morning, in the afternoon the sun goes like this over there. So this spot is, there are no large trees over there, so this has the best sun exposure. If you look at the whole garden, that's when you live in kind of like a forest area, it always is nice under the trees and it looks great. And I love hearing the rattling of the leaves, and I love being cool in the shadow. But for a garden or a greenhouse or anything like this, it's better if you have a lot of sun exposure. And at least in the fenced in garden area where I want to put the greenhouse, because it's a lot more easy and we have water here. It's a little bit shaded anyway, but this I think is the best spot. There has been a garden here before. My brother made it because I have no experience with gardens at all. He has a little bit, so of course he needs to take care of the plants and the greenhouse and everything. I just put it together and then the rest is his job. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But I think I'm going to try to fit it here. I might need to remove some of the bricks here, but yeah, we'll see. I'll first need to try if it's easy to move it around. So yeah, that's why I choose this spot, because of the sun exposure. almost. Not quite, but almost. Yeah. So now we are going to put it like this. So I can put the plastic on top of here, and it's very light and it's very easy to move. So we can always move it later if I think we need to. But for now, let's finish it, because I do get a little bit bored of building things like these, and I also want to put the horses in the field. Something nice to do and to watch, I think. So let's finish this quickly. Yeah, this is probably going to be the part where you really need two people, but you guys know me. I'm going to try it on my own anyway. Two people would definitely be nice, but I'll get there eventually. Even when you do it on your own, you'll get there eventually. Sometimes it's a bit harder, sometimes it takes a bit longer, but in the end you don't give up and you'll get somewhere at least. And I think you also shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. If you really need somebody to help you, go ask. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, but I'm on my own a lot of the times, so yeah, if I can do it on my own, I like to do it on my own, especially when I want to get something done. So I'll just keep trying, and if it doesn't work out, at least you tried and you learned something. And yeah, at least that's what I always try to do, how I try to look at it, and it works for me. Tomato plants will have plenty of space in here. So this is it. We have some. There's insects in here already, so I will keep the door open so they can fly out again. For now I am putting tomatoes in there, and the only real problem there is that well, we have slugs. We have a very large amount of slugs this year, and they like to eat everything. I think in the whole of the Netherlands it's pretty bad with all the insects and slugs, animals like those. This year I don't really know why, but there are a lot of them. But this is a bee, and I'm going to push it outside if it doesn't get out on its own. But first let him try. But that's not really the problem, it's slugs and of course the weather. So I think this greenhouse will be great. And it isn't your pretty nice cottage core, very beautiful looking greenhouse that I built myself. It's just a cheap plastic, very cheap, very plasticky, quite ugly greenhouse. But hey, it works for me, and it's just to try it out this year. So if I really like it, if I manage to grow some things, then maybe next year or in a few years I will build something myself that looks nice. But for now I'm just keeping it realistic, guys. It's not always pretty. Sometimes it just needs to work and doesn't really need to look beautiful. But yeah, hopefully this will work so it's not ugly, but well, it'll still be ugly, but it will be useful. So yeah, I'm going to attach these little things on the inside. I'm going to put the plants in, and they have a lot of room here, so hopefully they'll grow nice and big and make some very tasty tomatoes for me. they have a lot of room to grow now. So hopefully they'll be happy now. But yeah, I think it should work. I do think I need to attach it in the ground very good. And I think I might even attach it to my fence over here. Because with all the storms we have, the winds can get crazy. And I also think that a large hailstorm might ruin the whole thing. But the small greenhouse thing that we have had for the last 4 weeks had some hailstorms and it's still fine. So maybe the plastic is stronger than I think. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to figure it out. With the winds, I do need to attach it, but I will probably do that later. The wind is fine now and they don't think there will be a storm coming in 2 weeks or so. Hopefully longer than that, but at least 2 weeks. So I have some time to figure it out. But I think I might attach it to my fence. The fence is right next on that side. And I will put it in the ground as well. Maybe that will keep it safe. But for now, I think it should be fine. Yeah. As suspected, it took me quite a bit of time. Would probably be quicker with 2 people, but hey, managed to do it on my own. And yeah, it should work. So we'll see how it holds up. But for now, it's done. So oh, there's a lot of chickens here. In last week's video I talked about the guinea pig enclosure I'm going to build here, and I also started to order some things because of course I need materials to start building it. So I built like a very small tiny fence thing to put around the edges. Guinea pigs are not great jumpers, so it doesn't really need to be high, and I think it will be more beautiful if it stays low, so you can look into it and it blends a little bit with the garden. And guinea pigs are also not really animals that dig in the ground. They are not great diggers as well, like rabbits and bunnies. They can really dig holes and go under a fence. Guinea pigs don't dig in the ground. But I want to be safe anyway, so what I'm going to do is remove all the plants that are in here, because some people might think, why don't you leave it, because they can eat it, but I'm not really sure what everything in here is, and not everything is safe for guinea pigs to eat, and I just want to give them a good start and a clean environment to start with. And later I want to put some plants in there, and then I know what's safe for them, so I will put it in myself and I know it's safe. So I just want to clean up this area as much as I can, because I don't think I will be able to remove everything, but just the big things. And I will start digging around the edges, put poles in there where I want it to be, and then yeah, just make a start really. I ordered the materials, but they haven't arrived yet, so they will next week. So I'm just starting now, so when everything arrives next week I can really start building. Really looking forward to it as well. there's still some old timber laying around here. I also used this to determine how I wanted to make the enclosure look, which shape I liked. So that's also what you see on the edges here. It's all this hardwood timber from a previous barn we had, but it has been demolished, and this is everything we have left over now. And some larger ones, but I'm not able to carry those. So I use this to decide on the shaping of this enclosure, and it's going to be something like this. But I'm not going to use this to build anything here. It was just still laying around here. Hey Milky. So I'm going to remove it now, put it somewhere else in the garden till I find a good purpose for it. For now Hey Milky. I'm just cleaning up here, so this will need to go. And it's also not going to look like this. If you see this laying around, I just used it to see what it looks like now, but it will be gone, and when I have the right materials, I will use those materials to build the edge and build the fence, the walls of the enclosure actually. So I'm not going to use this hardwood, it was just to try it out, see if I like it. And also because I wanted to see how big I want the enclosure and how much materials I really need to build the walls. And it's almost 10 meters now, so I like this size. I think it's nice and spacious for guinea pigs, and I measured it to order the materials, so that's why I used it as well. Because if you use a measuring tape or anything like this, it's a bit hard with shapes like these, so now I know. Hey Milky? Now we know. And also for you guys that are a bit worried, maybe because the enclosure is in the garden where there's a lot of other animals like Milky here, and also with the chickens. The outdoor enclosure, like where whatever you see now, is going to be 40 centimeters high, so it will be like this from ground up, because there's a small hill thing here. It's going to be like this, Milky. And of course the chickens and the cats and Zeno, my dog, are able to jump over. 40 centimeters is nothing for them. And I'm not going to put netting over it. I think I will not, but I will give them like a house, like a night enclosure where they can go in and nothing else will be able to go in there, because I will make the entrance very small. And if I notice that any of the other animals are maybe like harassing the guinea pigs when they are walking outside, I will put some sort of construction like netting that I can put over them when there are other animals around, because of course I want to keep them safe. But in the night they will be locked up in their night enclosure, definitely not because of Milky and not because of the chickens, because everything here lives with other animals, so everything is, most of the times they are fine and they will not hurt anything that's walking around. But you never know, because they are still animals. But they will have a night enclosure for the foxes, because foxes here, they are plentiful and you need to keep your animals safe. So the chickens have a night enclosure, we still lock them up every night, and I will do the same thing with the guinea pigs, because it's just safer that way. Also with all the wolves and foxes are the main problem here, but they will be locked up in the night enclosure every night, so in the night they will be safe. And in the daytime, if it's going to be one of the animals, I think it might be chickens that are going to be a little bit annoying here. But chickens, they are curious, but they right now are not hurting any other animal, and they are actually kind of friendly. So the next one I suspect is going to maybe cause problems is Milky, right here. This one, because she is very curious as well. And everybody knows with cats, you don't really know what they will do with smaller animals, but she's also used to a lot of animals, so she also leaves the chickens alone. She leaves the rooster alone. Our rooster is actually very friendly to other animals, so I'm not too worried about him. But they can be curious, and if I noticed... they will be a problem, I will put fencing on top of it or netting on top of it anyway. But I think it should be fine. But we will watch it closely. For now we're still in the building process, and of course if I notice any problems I will fix it right away. So yeah. You're going to be a nice cat and leave guinea pigs alone, eh? You can hunt small other animals, but not the animals in the garden. And Milky? For now, I think this is all I'm going to do now, because for all the rest I need the materials, and they should be here next week. I think after the weekend. Don't know if you guys heard that screaming in the background, but I did. Somebody screaming over there, but probably fine. So this is all I'm going to do outside now. It's already starting to be a bit colder and I feel some rain, so time to go inside again, unfortunately. But I think for the design here I want to keep it very natural, so I'm going to dig some sort of small pond kind of thing. I want to leave this higher, very small hill in here, because I think it's nice for them if the environment is as natural as it can be. I think animals enjoy it the most. So I'm going to leave this here because I also think it looks beautiful. But I am going to put some large rocks in here as well. So about the designing, I'm not really great at it. I want it to look nice. I want to blend it with the garden a little bit, and also Milky. I want to make it nice for them. So I want to have the guinea pigs in here when it's all done and ready and they can really enjoy it. But I have some ideas in mind. I have of course some stuff laying around, but I think I might think about it a little bit more and maybe draw some designs I'm thinking about. I know I want a night enclosure, so like a small house over here where I'm sitting right now, because I think for them it might feel the safest because it's under the trees, and I think it's also it's going to look nice when they have this whole space outdoors. So that's the only thing I'm quite sure about, and the rest I need to think about. And I think I'm going to draw a few things to see what I like. And then next week, of course, the building starts if I have all the materials, and then we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I'm going to go inside now and draw some things, see what I like. I'm not great at drawing or art or anything like this, but I like to try out things and see what it looks like before I build it. Not too often. Most of the times I'm more the kind of person that starts building and I see as I go. And I want it to be practical anyway, but now I want to make something that looks nice and I want them to enjoy it, so I'm going to think about it a little bit longer. Also because I have to wait for the materials as well. And Milky? So yeah. So this area over here, I think this is going to be the small pond, which is going to be really small. And this here is going to be the night house. And these things will be larger stones I have, because I think it will make it very natural and very beautiful. And then this is the fence of the garden, and this thing is the tree that's in the corner over here, and this is 10 meters, So it is quite a large enclosure. I think for maybe 2 or 3 guinea pigs it will be fine. And this area over here, this is where the hill is at. So this is higher, this area over here, and this is, I think, the lowest part. So it makes sense to build a pond over here. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to build this pond. I don't want it to be too deep. I don't want it to be dangerous. But I just would like them to have a kind of natural way to drink some water. And also I think it will look nice. A water source is great for all the animals around. Also birds and animals like this. And I think it looks cool, of course. But I think I'm not going to use like pond liner or anything. I think it will just be something I will dig in the ground, but I have to think about it. That's going to be here, but this is a problem for later. First I need to build this fence area around here. This is what will be like 40 centimeters high, so not too high that I think it looks not so good anymore, but high enough for guinea pigs to stay in. They can really jump. And I've had them in enclosures that are like 30 centimeters high. This will be a bit higher because it's just the material I bought and I think it looks cool. So I'll place some stones, different sizes. And then when this is all in place, I might put some plants in there. But that's also something for later. And I think I might do some small pebble stone things around the pond here. See, I'm not great at drawing, completely not. But yeah, I think you get what I mean. Around the pond area, just so it's very natural for them. And I think I might put some large branches in here as well, so maybe some wooden sticks around the stones, just so it feels natural for them. They have something to do, they will not get bored, and it looks good. So yeah, this, I think, what I have in mind. But we'll see when the materials get here and I start building. We'll see how it looks.